Hello and welcome to my meditation. My name is Debra Baker and I'm so grateful that you have joined us for a little while. We're going to meditate. We're still exploring ways that we can hear messages from the infinite. So let's get started. Let's begin with 3 nice, really deep breaths. Breathing into our chest, holding it for a moment and releasing it slowly. And now breathe into your chest and your upper back. Hold it for a moment. Just feel your chest expanding, and when you're ready, release it nice and loudly and slowly. And now let's take the deepest breath we've taken all day, expanding our chest, upper back, all the way down into our bellies. Feel your belly expand, your rib cage expand. Take another little sip of air and hold it as long as you'd like. And when you're ready, just release it nice and slowly. And so we've been talking about listening to the voice of the infinite, which is what I do, on a regular basis, because that's kind of what my job is. And I'd like to think that I practice it in my everyday life as well. And I'll tell you a couple of ways that I do that. But first, let's relax our body. So we're going to do it in 3 sections. First of all, I invite you to get comfortable. Make sure your body is fully supported, and if you need to pause the meditation for a moment to really get comfortable, get your pillow just right. If you got a blanket, and snuggle up or under it, or if it's warm where you are, get cool, whatever it is, take a moment. And now let's start with head, neck, and shoulders. So pull your shoulders up around your ears, tuck your chin gently, and we're going to take a breath. And then gently squeeze our neck and our head with our shoulders, tuck our chin, stretch the back of our necks. Take the breath and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And when you're ready, drop your shoulders and release your breath. Now we're going to move down our bodies. I invite you to bring your fists to your shoulders. Pull your arms forward as if you're giving yourself a hug. Stretch out your back muscles and everything, kind of like squeeze your abs from maybe your hip bones all the way up to your neck. Take a breath and squeeze, 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 and then let it go. And let's do it to the back too. So bring your shoulder blades together. Keep your fists up at your shoulders. So we're going to squeeze our backs and expand our fronts. Take a breath. Squeeze, 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 and let it go. Let your hands rest. And now from your waist all the way to the floor. So press your legs together, pull up your pelvic floor, pull in your abs, press your feet together. Take a breath. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Tighten your glutes. And when you're ready, let it go. And now rest back. Lean back, get into your comfy position, and let go. So I have mentioned before crystals, and I have on the screen if you're looking. Kind of cool. This is selenite palm stone, and I highly recommend them when you are when you're meditating, because they really are soothing. Selenite is gypsum. It's a number 2 on the hardness scale. I don't know, I think it's just kind of that soft energy. I feel like they are clearing. I have pieces of selenite propped up by my front door to clear any energy that comes into my house. So that's just kind of a little aside. before we get started to recommend selenite. And if you would like one, I still have some left from when I went to Tucson and bought a whole bunch of them so that I would have them available for a few years for people. I'm running low, but I still have some. Anyway, so let's settle in and just become aware of your breath. And listen, start to listen to the voices in your head. So this would be about listening. And there, to me, are two kind of vibrations of voice in our heads. That internal chatter that says, oh my goodness, I need to get some more dog food, and oh, I need to wash my car, and all those things. That's one voice. It's not a very soothing voice. Sometimes it's a necessary voice. And sometimes it takes on a real negative spin where we just beat ourselves up. I should have done this, I should have done that, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done that. So let's get the shoulds out of our minds, out of our vocabulary, and settle in and know that we are infinite spirits. We truly are infinite spirits having these human experiences, which means there is so much more to us than what our human bodies can hold. Our bodies are in our spirit. Our spirits are in our bodies and beyond. So let's just hold on to that thought for a moment, that we truly are infinite spirits, meaning we are one with all that is. We are one with the oneness, the Christ presence, which I don't use that word very often, the divine presence, the holy presence. We are one with that. And then we very bravely decided. So we get back to the idea of how do we connect with our infinite selves to receive the information that we need. Daisy had to come in for this part. And one of the ways is to listen. We were talking about that, the chatter voice or the critical voice, the voice that tells us we're not good enough, or that we're full of mistakes and all that. And some of us got the message even before we were born. If we were the result of an unplanned pregnancy, somewhere along the line our sweet little souls picked up that information. But let's let go of all that for a moment. Let's just set it aside. And go a little deeper. There is wisdom in you. You are one with the infinite wisdom. You truly know everything you need to know. And you can access information that you feel might be outside of yourself. And it starts with letting yourself know. So the first thing let's allow ourselves to know is that we truly are infinite beings. And breathe into that idea. And let's imagine if the one presence, the divine, God, universal life force, if it had a message for us. let's just take a moment and see if something comes up. Let's, for fun, because sometimes it takes like a prompt. And people talk about journal prompts. Well, these are meditation prompts. We're going to do two. The first one is imagine that you're walking on a beach and a bottle washes up and it's got a message inside for you. So pick it up, pull the cork out, shake the message out, unroll it. Hear the waves in the background and feel the sand beneath your feet, and unroll the message and see what it says. It could be just one word. The message that I got for all of us is, you are love expressing. So imagine as you go about your days, whether you stay home or go somewhere, the love that is moving in through and as you and around you can expand. And even if you stay home, chances are you have communication with someone else. Maybe an email or a text message or social media. Each time that you send out a message to anyone for any reason, even if it's to stop your paper for a week, imagine that with that message is love. People feel loved in your presence. People feel loved from you, through you. You are love expressing. And I invite you to use all those little prompts when you meditate. I learned to do them when I was reading for clients. If I wasn't getting them, enough of a message that I needed, I would create a scenario and then allow Spirit to fill in the blanks. For example, if I was talking to a pregnant mother and she didn't know yet if her baby was a boy or a girl, I would picture a nursery and then see what color it was decorated in, or see, the baby clothes. And to absolutely trust whatever you get. So I was asked by a client one time, she said, I'm moving to a different part of the country. Can you tell me anything about my house? And nothing was coming to me. I kept saying, I don't see it. I just don't see it. I'm trying, but I can't see it. And it turned out that the information she had gotten wasn't accurate, and she was not indeed moving at all. And so the information I got was accurate, and that there wasn't a house for her in that part of the country because she didn't need one. And so if you get nothing, trust that. Or if you get something really off the wall, those are kind of my favorite things. So settle in some more. And I'll talk about 2 different ways of getting a yes or no or an either or answer. One of them is multifaceted in that I use it for myself. If I'm trying to decide something, and nothing monumental, but just little things, I'll say if I'm supposed to do this, when I look at the digital clock, the last digit will be even, and if I'm not supposed to do it, the last digit will be odd. And that's, it's a real easy way to just get a simple answer. Or however you want to do it. And the other one is when my husband and I particularly are trying to decide where to go to dinner, which I realize a lot of people have this discussion, where to go to for dinner or what to have for dinner. So one of us will assign A or B, if there's 2 choices, in our mind to each of the options, and then have the other person choose A or B, and then say, okay, you chose this restaurant, or you chose to have spaghetti tonight. Simple, easy, kind of allow spirit and opportunity, in that exchange. It doesn't have to be a huge deal. You can get messages all the time for, simple things. Should I get regular or decaf? And the other one is kind of fun. And it is, you can do it standing up or sitting down. So if you're doing it sitting down, imagine that your head is like a bobblehead. So bobble it around a little bit so it feels really loose on your neck. Like it could go easily in any direction. Sit up straight so that it's kind of centered. And then typically yes is forward and back, and no is side to side, so your ears toward your shoulders. And practice it a little until you've mastered it. And then notice, ask a question, should I have cereal for dinner? Going on that same vein. And then notice if your head goes forward and back, or if your head goes sideways. And it's just a fun little trick, but it's, leaving space for an answer to come to you. And you can do the same thing standing up, where you can imagine your body moving forward and back or side to side. And with all of these things, it works better with practice. Maybe not the looking for a number on the clock, because it really doesn't require any practice. But looking for answers everywhere. And seeing the significance. I know some people who really seem to take this to the extreme, but if it works for them, great. If I see the numbers of someone's birthday multiple times in a row, I'll call them. And I did that with my granddaughter last week, and she was fine, but I think she did appreciate the fact that I called. Numbers can be very significant, so can colors. But it's about finding meaning in it, in all of it. Finding meaning for yourself, asking, choosing, the significance of the answers, like an even or an odd number, or getting a message and then figuring out the significance. The messages are there all around you all the time. It's about listening and paying attention loved ones sending pennies or dimes or cardinals or a certain kind of car, or, all sorts of things. There's meaning all around us. There's messages when we look for them. You're not alone. Love is all around you. Love is inside you, and God, the one presence, the one power, is moving in through and as you all the time. And all is well. So let me remind you again that you are whole and perfect exactly as you are. And the one presence and the one power is moving in through and as you all the time, with messages, with meaning, with support and love, everywhere, all the time. So the one presence and the one power moving in through and as me honors and recognizes the one presence and the one power moving in through and as you. Namaste. Have a good week.